Record. Oh, I love that voice. I would have thought they would have updated that voice by now. It still sounds a little Siri-esque, but oh well, what can you do? All right, well, today's session is on willpower. Now, there's so many books written on this, there's so many talks that you can watch on what it is and how it all works, but I like to try and keep things nice and simple. Willpower is basically your ability to focus and hold one image on the screen of your mind to the exclusion of all other distractions. If you think for a moment about a house and you see a nice house with, little front yard or whatever, and then I say, all right, I want you to imagine a fluffy pink bunny. And I want you to try and think about both of those two things at the same time. The only way that you can do it is if you put the fluffy pink bunny on top of the house. So you can put it in the garden or something like that, but you'll still be constantly moving between the bunny and the house, the bunny and the house. The reason for this is our mind can only think about one thing at a time. So our willpower is our ability to hold a certain image. So for instance, when we struggle with willpower to eat the foods that we want, in our mind, we've got an image of us getting up and going and grabbing that chocolate. If we didn't have that image, we probably wouldn't do it. So if we want to develop our willpower, what we're really talking about here is developing our ability to hold the image of what it is that we do want on the screen of our mind. So when a change is needed, willpower is needed. The reason for that is you need to focus actively on the new image. When I go for a run, I focus on the image of me finishing without stopping. Now, in my mind, I don't really have to motivate myself because I don't have an image where I stop. The only image I have is if I break my ankle or something like that, I imagine that I would stop. But if I don't break my ankle, I know that I'm not going to stop. I don't have an image in my mind of me taking drugs. I just don't have that image in my mind anymore. It's not there. I don't think about the prescriptions I was on and taking them anymore. So when I go to bed, I don't have to fight that impulse. I don't even need my willpower. Now, your willpower is kind of like, it's like a battery. As you get tired or as you exhaust it, it wears out. And most people, that's the problem they have, is they try and force a behavior. So they're trying to force themselves to do this thing. No, I won't eat that. No, I won't. But as soon as they get tired, they don't have the willpower anymore to hold that image of them not eating that thing or whatever it is that they're doing. So there's two elements to changing or developing your willpower. One is to choose the image that you want to hold. It's really important. If you're going to use your willpower to change something, as soon as you can change the image over a period of time by holding that image, you change the behavior and suddenly you don't actually need the willpower anymore to do it. And the second way is to strengthen it. Your willpower is like a muscle. If I put my left arm in a sling and did not use it for 2 months, and at the same time, over those 2 months, I was lifting weights with my right arm, what would happen? My right arm would get really strong and my left arm would just fall apart and there'd be no strength left in it. Your will is a mental muscle. And the more that you're exercising it through activities or actions, the stronger it gets. Every time I go for a run and I see that image and I know that it's difficult, by the end of it, my willpower is stronger. Why? Because I gave myself a command and I followed through. Now, if you're struggling to do something really difficult, it's better to not try and force yourself to do that thing. One of the best exercises that you can do is meditation. They've actually done a lot of tests on this, and 5 minutes of meditation within, I think it's 1 or 2 weeks, they've actually noted that it actually changes the gray matter in your prefrontal cortex around decision-making and your ability to have willpower. 5 minutes. Now, one of my favorite exercises is literally to sit there and stare at a dot. Now, to sit there for 5 minutes, I'm not allowed to look anywhere else. I'm not allowed to move my body or anything, and it's very, very difficult. But what I'm doing is I'm training my willpower. I'm using the muscle. I'm sitting there and saying, nope, I'm going to stare at this dot. And by the end of the 5 minutes, my willpower becomes stronger. Why? Because my confidence in myself to give myself a command and follow through increases. So the first thing is you need to know the image that you're trying to hold. Maybe it's of you eating the healthy snack in the fridge. Maybe it's the image of you getting up earlier and doing the thing that you want. So you practice holding the image. Don't try and force the behavior, because after you run out of effort and the motivation goes, you'll fall back into old behaviors. But if you use your mind to visioneer and hold the image of what it is that you want, that's the correct way to use your will to get what you want. Now, it's a very complicated topic, and that's all I've got in 5 minutes. So I hope you found that somewhat beneficial. If you have any more questions about it, please reach out to me. It's a topic I'm very passionate about exploring and helping people to better their lives through. So we're going to jump into our journaling exercises. So I hope you've got a pen and a paper, or maybe just an open document on your computer, whichever you find easier. And I want you to just write Mindful Mondays and the date. And underneath that, we're going to answer the question. So you can just write the number 1. And I want you to just bring to mind all the instances you can think of in the past that demonstrate you have willpower. So you can think about the time that you had a really good gym routine, time that you studied that course. Maybe it was today when you chose a healthy meal over the chocolate. Unfortunately, I can't say that because I ate the chocolate. It was delicious. I don't regret anything. Nancy's outraged. That's okay. Just write down some of the things that you can bring to mind that demonstrate you have willpower. Times when you've done something for your long-term benefit rather than short-term benefit. Maybe you saved for a trip. Maybe just turning up to work every day could be the thing that shows you have willpower. And I might just get anyone who wants to write in the chat the one thing that came to mind about their willpower, if you feel comfortable sharing. Maybe it was getting on this call. Maybe that was really difficult for you. Parenting as a single parent. Definitely. That's yeah, that definitely shows willpower. Nancy, walking and jogging, definitely. Sometimes it's wet and it's cold, especially if you're in Melbourne and it's this winter that we're having. It's every time I go outside from the heated house, it's a bit of a shock. Running like Forrest Gump. Awesome, Haresh. I've got a vivid image in my mind. It's a very unique running style. When I spend 8 hours a day studying to finish my bachelor's degree. Yeah, amazing, Emma. That would have taken a fair bit of willpower. Awesome, guys. Now, number 2, I want you to think of a situation where you want to develop willpower. What's something that you'd love to develop a little bit more willpower around? Maybe it's your eating habits, maybe it's nighttime routine, maybe it's something at work that you really want to knuckle down and get done. If you struggle with that, just think of a situation that you're struggling with right now, and you can write that one down. Awesome, Katrina. Thanks for writing that. All right. And now, number 3, I want you to write a brief description of what it looks like in the lead up to the desired outcome that you're trying to achieve. So think about the thing that you're trying to achieve, the situation that you want to develop willpower in. What does it look like? If you're going to be successful in that activity or making that change, I want you to write a brief description of what it looks like in the lead up. So maybe if you're trying to eat healthier, you see yourself at the supermarket and you've got a shopping list. And it's only got healthy options on the shopping list, and you see yourself just walking around the supermarket. Your eyes move past the chocolate and they go to the health food aisle. If it's something at work, maybe you can see yourself writing a to-do list and getting organized before it. It's whatever comes to mind for you. If you're struggling with this one, just take a deep breath and just relax into it. Nice, Jan. Finishing a day at work feeling fulfilled. So maybe there's an activity within your workday where you'd like to see yourself behaving slightly differently. So maybe you could write that down. And it's really interesting. If it's something we're struggling with, usually we don't have a very clear image. So doing this exercise is really helpful because it suddenly gives our mind something to focus on. We've suddenly got an image of what it is that we actually want, that we can use our willpower to hold that image. And if you find this exercise a bit of a struggle, please reach out to me, send me a message after the session, because it is an area that I love helping people with. I'm very passionate about it. I've got a fair few tricks up my sleeve. Unfortunately, we don't have that much time. We've only got the half hour. But we're going to move on to number 4. Now, this is a bit of a fun exercise. If you've got a pen and paper, I want you to write the number 4, and I want you to take your pen from your dominant hand and put it in your non-dominant hand. And if you're typing on a computer, I want you to actually cross your hands over. So now you have to swap your hands around. And what you're going to do is I want you to write out your full name 5 times. Now, you guys might not believe it, but you've just grown your willpower. So you can give yourselves a pat on the back for doing that. Anytime you do something that is more difficult than the easy option, you actually develop your willpower. Why? Because you gave yourself a command and you followed through. You did something that was hard, that was difficult, that you didn't really want to do that much. And the more fun you can make these exercises, the better, because then you have a positive connotation with willpower, which is also quite good. And if you are up for a challenge, and if you do want to develop your willpower, I would challenge you to write out your name with your non-dominant hand, or type it with your hands crossed, and do that every day for a week. Now, when it comes to willpower, it's about consistency. As soon as you start doing something that's a little bit hard over a long period of time, it creates self-belief. Creates your confidence that you can give yourself a hard task and follow through. And here's the thing, what you did just then, it only took a minute or 2, whatever it is. But by doing it every single day over a period of time, it helps you build your confidence and willpower. I actually have a statement that I write out 10 times every day, and it takes me about 10 to 15 minutes to do it. But I do it every day because I want to develop my willpower. I want to get stronger. There's things that I want to do with my life, and I need to be strong to do them. So if you do need that willpower to grow, and you do need to do some harder things than you currently feel you're able to do, I highly suggest you develop some willpower practices. And yeah, like I said, get in contact and I can give you a couple more if you wish. But now I want you to get nice and relaxed, because we're going to do a meditation / visualization. So I want you to just slowly just get yourself nice and comfortable. If you have to stretch out a little bit, that is completely fine. It's good to start off comfortable. And I'm going to challenge you for this meditation to develop your willpower is I don't want you to move. So once you get still and once you get into your spot, I want you to challenge yourself to gain power over your body and your mind to practice sitting completely still. This is a willpower exercise in itself, meditation. And if you the more still you can remain, the more beneficial it's going to be. So I'm going to play some music through the speakers. Hopefully you can hear it. Is that coming through nice and clear? Yep, amazing, amazing. Now, in this session, we're going to do a breathing exercise. I want to explain it before you get too relaxed, in case anyone's got some questions. I want you to listen. This is important. Every time you breathe in or out, you're going to count a number. So what we're going to do is we're going to start counting from 1 all the way up to 10. And each time we do this cycle, we're going to add an extra number. We're going to breathe in 1, out 2. We've counted 1 and 2. Then you're going to breathe in 1, out 2, in 3. And then you're going to start it again on the out breath. So then on the out breath, it'll be 1, the in breath would be 2. And I'm going to count it with you to start off. But I want you to concentrate on the numbers. Trust me, it'll make a bit more sense as we go along. Just get nice and comfortable, right in space. Allow yourself to relax. And when you feel ready, I want you to just close your eyes. If there's any niggling movements that you want to do, just do them now. Show your body that love. You're going to get as comfortable as it possibly can for this exercise. Notice how your body's feeling. And if you're feeling a little bit tense, consciously use your mind right now to relax parts of your body right now that feel tense. Relax your shoulders, relax your jaw, relax your neck, hips, legs. Let your whole body deeper and deeper into relaxation. I'm going to start breathing exercise. In 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. 1. Breathe out. 2. Breathe in. 1. Breathe out. 2. Breathe in. 3. Breathe out. 1. Breathe in. 2. Breathe out. 3. Breathe in. 4. Breathe out. 1. Breathe in. 2. Breathe out. 3. Breathe in. 4. Breathe out. 5. Breathe in. 1. And keep going. you lose count at any point, just go back to the start. And if you struggle, just count all the way up to 10 and back. Now, whatever number you're up to, I want you to just let it go. And allow yourself to relax. What we're going to do now is we're going to paint some images on the screen of your mind. I want you to start from right now where you are, and I want you to think about everything you're going to do tonight before you fall asleep, and then everything you're going to do in the morning, from what time you're going to wake up, all the different activities, all the way to lunch. I want you to walk through it like it's a movie, seeing everything. See yourself doing your teeth, hopping into bed, whatever it is you're going to do tonight. I want you to play the movie all the way to lunch from here on out. And if you get to lunch, just simply come back to right now and go again. Keep your mind focused on the images. If your mind wanders at all, bring it back to the images. a moment now to press pause on it and allow yourself to come back to where you are. Become aware with your eyes closed that you're sitting where you are right now. Become aware of how the ground underneath you feels. Become aware of whether your breathing is deep and rhythmic, shallow and quick. And ask yourself, was this an easy exercise or was it quite difficult? Now you can slowly come back into the space by moving your fingers, moving your toes around a little bit, rolling your shoulders, moving your neck from side to side. And when you feel ready, you can slowly open your eyes. Welcome back, guys. Well done. Well done. Now, I hope you enjoyed that exercise. The counting can be a little bit difficult. I've had trouble with it in the past before, so if you didn't really understand it, I apologize. It is a great exercise, though, to keep your mind focused. When you're nice and relaxed, if you can allow your mind to focus on one thing, the counting mechanism while breathing, it's an excellent way to grow your attention span, your focus, your willpower. And I hope you enjoyed seeing the, sorry, I thought I got it and then realized very quickly that I didn't. That's okay, Marianne. It's an exercise I've only done a couple of times with people, and yeah, some people get it and some people don't. I kind of did it one time. I thought, oh yeah, that makes sense. And I thought, oh yeah, we'll do it with other people. And that's why I took a bit of time at the start to try and explain it, hoping that that would make it a bit easier. But maybe I'll have to work on my explanation of it. So if you struggle with that, I apologize. But it's a great exercise. If you give it another shot, if you watch the replay back, it's and give it a couple of shots, it gets easier, and it's quite difficult, especially when you're a bit tired or trying to focus. So it's quite beneficial. Thank you so much for coming along today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the session. I hope you got something out of it. It's a little bit different from the mindfulness stuff that we normally do. I do a lot more personal development based things with my clients, and a couple of them have come along to these sessions and said, you should teach that topic. I found that really, really helpful. So I decided that, yeah, I'd implement a couple of them. So if you've got any feedback about it, that would be amazing. I'd love to hear from you. I'm going to stop the recording now. And then, how do I do that? Oh, there it is.